We're back here on the campus of the University of Miami, the site of tomorrow's crucial Republican presidential debate with make-or-break primaries looming next Tuesday in Florida and Ohio. New polls show Donald Trump leading, at least right now, in both of those states. Let's continue our conversation with the Republican National Committee Communications Director Sean Spicer. How do you make sure the debate tomorrow night isn't as acrimonious, as bitter as the last two have been? I know that your boss, Ryan Priebus, has been having conversations with the various campaigns.
Well, I think part of this comes down to what we tell them, what we tell the audience at the beginning, what we talk to the candidates about. I think the chairman's been very clear in his public statements that we want to take that tenor down. We want to talk more positively about what candidates believe in.
You can't really control.
No, you can't. I mean, I think what we can do is hopefully try to explain to them what I think is best for the party, what I think would be best for people to understand that and make it a better viewer experience so that they get a chance to hear more from the candidates and less from the audience.
So all of a sudden today, the Republican National Committee files a lawsuit with the government seeking all of Hillary Clinton's emails and documents from the State Department during the 4 years she served as the Secretary of State. Why did you do this today?
So first of all, let's take it back a step. We filed Freedom of Information Acts over a year ago. We joined the Associated Press, Vice, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, and CNN, frankly. And we've all been stalled and been blanked, by the government as far as this. I think we are at a crucial point. Democratic voters, Republican voters, independent voters deserve an opportunity to know both what happened during her tenure as Secretary of State between her and top aides that we haven't seen any communication from, like Cheryl Mills, Brian Battagliano, Patrick Kennedy. And then we also filed a second suit that deals with her time after she left the State Department, that deals with what those aides did to interact with key entities. But all of us are being stonewalled. We're frankly all in the same boat on this.
Well, why not let the news organizations pursue those areas? Because once the RNC gets involved, it certainly has the appearance of being purely political.
Well, again, I think we're joining Vice, the AP, CNN. We have an interest in this. Yes, we're a political entity. We have a right, like you do, like every American does in the Freedom of Information Act, to ask what's going on. There's a point at which you realize that their goal is to kick the can down the road, and we have to act. We have an obligation to our voters, to our supporters, to show them that we are equally as concerned with this information as news organizations and other outside groups like Citizens United.
But don't you have confidence in the Justice Department, the FBI, the career law enforcement officials who are investigating all of this right now?
Well, I would ask, doesn't CNN, doesn't the Washington Post, everybody's in the same boat. We've all been stalled on this, and I think at some point each of us have taken the action that we have because we haven't had the response that we're legally entitled to.
Because it does give the appearance of being, as I heard from the Clinton campaign and the Bernie Sanders campaign, they don't agree on a lot, but they both thought this was just a political witch hunt on the part of the Republican.
Well, then it's a political witch hunt by CNN, by the Wall Street Journal, by the Washington Post, by Vice. At some point, everybody's after them, but they've claimed that it's a political witch hunt when inspectors general appointed by Barack Obama went after them. They've claimed it's a political witch hunt when Democratic judges ruled against them. Everything that Hillary Clinton does is a conspiracy somehow, but yet all they have to do is comply with the law. If that's it. All this is saying if you comply with the law that you're supposed to comply with, instead of kicking the can down the road, none of this would have to happen. But everything to them is a conspiracy. Everything's a witch hunt. They never seem to have to follow the rules and the law that everyone else has to. That's the problem with Hillary Clinton. No matter what, she has one set of rules for her. Everyone else has a different set of rules. Everything's a witch hunt against her. She shouldn't have to follow the law.
But this is the State Department. She doesn't control the State Department anymore. It's up to the officials at the State Department to make these documents public.
Well, at some point, it's up to now a judge to do that. But I think at some point, we all recognize that it doesn't matter who you are. They're continuing to stunt news organizations, individuals, associations, and now a political party.
I know you're going to watch the Democratic presidential debate tonight. Univision is hosting it. We'll simulcast it. What are you specifically looking to hear? What do you want to see?
Well, I mean, last time when they had the debate in Michigan, they didn't talk about veterans once. They didn't talk about terror groups. They never mentioned ISIS. I think the question I have, are they going to actually address issues that the Americans are concerned about? Or are they going to go play footsie again on who can, spend more government, expand more government? At the end of the day, there are real issues that need to get solved in terms of the debt, the deficit, Guantanamo Bay, ISIS. Those are real issues that affect all Americans and that, frankly, have been continued to be avoided by both of these candidates.
Sean Spicer, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you.